Hey everyone, Yōkai here. Today I'm going to be watching the 18th episode of Nisekoi. And last episode was a lot of fun because we got to go to a festival, which you know what that entails, seeing the girls in yukata, and they of course look quite lovely in them. We get the food, the games, all that good stuff, and sometimes we have stuff like sandals breaking or getting lost, just you never know what you're going to get with the festival. It's just a chance to have a big old group of people and sometimes run into acquaintances, sometimes, acquaintances you don't want to run into. Right, but it was pretty hectic because we had like a cat stealing stuff and chasing it, and it was quite something. But anyway, we're here for this episode, so let's jump on in and see what they do today. 3, 2, 1. Are we having a beach episode? Like I thought maybe with the sky shot and all that. Okay, pretty lucky. Yeah, this is definitely a beach location. Oh, she's got like a... And she was really ready. And she's got a parasol. North Carolina. I mean, I live in California, so the beach is never too far away. And there it is! We found it! Oh wow, it does look quite nice. Really close to like the road. Just off with the clothes. Yeah, she's just got all the equipment, the snorkel, the floaty, whatever it's called around her. I assume she can't swim, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but... When you're like that decked out and that stuff, it does kind of give that impression, right? Because it's fairly common in anime for a character to not know how to swim. Especially in like a rom-com show, because it's a chance to have the protagonist, teach the heroine how to swim, right? So... That's why it's as common as it is. And there we go. Okay. If you're gonna wonder why I, look like I'm adjusting my headphones a lot, it's because I have noise canceling headphones, and so I can't really have them fully on because then it's harder to hear myself, and I feel like I have to speak louder, So if I have them just like slightly off my ears to where I can still hear the show just fine, but also hear myself just fine, it's a tricky balance, right? So that's why I do that. If you're wondering. Yeah. And my cat is currently on my lap. So, oh wow, that is a very frilly, very nice swimsuit, and of course, Chitoge's is not bad either, and that's also pretty good. Wow, that's very much suits her. Who is this? The other? Oh no, it's okay. Okay, man, they're just hitting us one after the other. Holy Jesus! And then there's a school, and then there's the one in the school swimsuit. But yeah, it was really rapid fire. But man, there were some definitely good choices here. Also, what is that swimsuit she's wearing? It's very unique looking. Even like the bow parts in the bottom looks very oddly big. But yeah, her embarrassment definitely makes the whole thing much better. Oh my god, these shots. Oh good god. I disagree. Yeah, she's definitely more filled out than Chitoge is. Oh my god. She just went for it. I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. But those things are gonna fall out at that rate. This is unacceptable. Are we just all doing it? Man, no wonder she didn't want to... Oh god. Oh god. If I had nobody, I'd say she was a protagonist of the show with all that female attention. But I'm sweating a little bit right now. I don't know about anyone else. And actually, this is how he enjoys the trip. Oh my god, she's got a bat. Yeah. What, do you want sunblock put on you by him? Yeah. I knew it. Man, I really should have known what to expect from a Shaft anime rom-com beach episode, but man, I was not ready for this intensity level. If that makes sense. Like they're just not holding back one bit. The girlfriend's over there, you know. Probably doesn't appreciate any of that. And she actually is quite big herself. Yeah, it's very important. We got a little bit of a growl there. Well, just be glad it wasn't a baseball bat, man. To be fair, there's some really attractive girls in this show. It's called Jealousy. Oh, is that the good luck charm thingy? Or love charm from last episode? I know, right? What a fool. What would you have said? What would you have done? That's something worth thinking about. So you say. Also, what's flying around the screen? Just... That's sort of a title drop there. Almost. I mean, it's close. Technically, Nisekoi was in the sentence. I accidentally read that as renting a girl. I mean, there's a show, I think, called Rent a Girlfriend or whatever. I never watched it, but... As expected. Just literally threw it. Like, one action makes it very clear just how buttered she was. I mean, he is your boyfriend, sort of. Pretty peaceful now. I have faith in you. Can you handle that, Chitoge? Guess we'll find out. Just don't hurt yourself, that's all I ask. Cause, hand touching? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you touched him. He's like, I didn't even do anything. Why is she so upset? Man, double hand holding. That's a good focus shot. Because you like him. Because when you touch his hand, it makes you realize how much you like touching his hand. Which opens up a whole other can of worms in your head. I said not to hurt yourself. Yeah, I knew it'd only a matter of time before she did. She was way too distracted. Yeah, just suck on it, it'll be fine. Is he gonna suck on it? Yeah, when you have that great of a body, you really want to keep it as... You want to keep it that way. As she has a blush so intense it goes over the hair. Just in general, the shots in this episode have been on point. Oh, is that ocean green? Man, the day sure goes by quickly, doesn't it? So are we gonna have any kind of moonlight stroll? Okay. That was one of Dada's footsteps. I guess it makes sense, like Chitoge wouldn't just go up to him in this context. She's a complicated girl. Sleeping? Yeah, imagine how different things would be if Chitoge never entered this, you know, their lives. I actually forgot until just now that we actually had a pool episode a while ago. Yeah, yeah, because we did have some, like, not able to swim stuff at that point. And I think I talked about it at that point, too, so never mind what I said earlier. Because I think I was just repeating. I mean, I'm a goldfish. I don't remember things. Speaking of repeating things, this seems kind of familiar. You know, when you went over to her place. They're over by the water, having a moment. Where is this going? Oh, go! Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I was wondering what she was gonna say. I wasn't. I didn't think that. Uh, that is quite bold for her. Man, that's a cute swimsuit. Yeah, you can really hear the Hanakana there. I mean, I'm not, blaming you or chastising you or anything like that. I was just surprised. And I doubt he would say no. I mean, is he asleep? I should have known. Because if we actually heard that, we would have gotten a lot more from him in that scene. Like, he would have been losing it just as much as she was, if not more. You can really hear the crying in her voice. But you don't get heard that, I assume, so... Yeah. It is pretty crazy, but she did say it. What? Yes, that's much more likely than just being what it first sounded like. I think she was going through mental gymnastics. I don't know. Day 2. Sunbathing? It's like maybe she's just wearing a school swimsuit. I mean, it's a one piece, not necessarily school swimsuit. I don't see a name tag on it, but I'm going to assume it's a school swimsuit until I'm told otherwise. Well, I mean, kinda, but it's obviously different. Right. It's about a friend. I know how that goes. Oh my god. Is that a sandcastle? Holy shit. It's like a titan there. I was trying to pay attention to what they were saying, but that really caught me off guard. Ugh. You really are falling for the talking about a friend thing. Seriously, just look at that. I mean, ignoring the fact that it would take them, it's impossible to make that. Like, even just drawing that for the anime, that is some effort. She said that. That might be the strongest blush we've ever seen on her. It is a mystery. It really is nice how their friendship has been building. Despite, you know, liking the same boy and all that. This is really nice moments. Now she's just confused. Kimchi actually makes you think of the one character from Rant 6. What were you doing with your hand? It is certainly possible. I mean, he was never really all that bad. You just, you know. The struggle is real. But at least we're really starting to ask the questions. Trying to figure out how she feels. Obviously, we're still in the denial phase, but we'll get there. Touching the tips. Don't hurt yourself. Hopefully she's not lost. Are you, like, skipping across the beach? Oh, there she is. All alone. Well, I got bad news for you. He's about to come back to you. I mean, it's eventually gonna fall. And there you go. He doesn't even realize what he has done. Yeah, it's obviously an indication that something's wrong when you're all alone playing with the sparklers. And, you know, snap at him and all that. They have spent a lot of time together. You could say that. That's called being a tsundere. I think it's pretty clear that he doesn't dislike you. Progress is progress. Also not true. Yeah, just remind yourself that she's a tsundere, and you'll be fine. Do you have her? I mean, he has her as a love interest, you know, I'm sure that's what he means, but... Yeah, that's, I mean, more blushing than usual, but other than that, pretty much what he's always looked like. Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. I mean, if Onodera is his type, then she is the opposite of that, so... I heard that's... Yeah... She's a hard one to deal with. Because 1 second, you know, she's doing the usual I hate you too thing, and when he kind of continues that... But she's shifted her kind of mindset. But he can't pick up on the, you know, the borderline cray. Oh, what is this, a new ED? Oh my god, that I definitely would have remembered that hip movement. This is definitely a new ED. So I'll continue what I was saying later. Is that... It's a UFO up there. What the hell? And those dolls are just terrifying. Even if you do a cute dance, they're still kind of terrifying. This is just a weird ED. Like, even by Shaft standards. Okay, that's good. We actually... They went full idol there. Actually kind of makes you think of the idol duo thingy from Kakegurui. Dreamy, Creamy Sisters, or whatever they were called. Had the same kind of feel to it. Okay, we have a stinger. Well, actually, more left than I thought. Yeah, I don't blame you for not getting it. You picked up on that? I don't think that's true. Yeah. That was a pretty deadpan Ohio. But there's kind of a shade over her face, so... Yeah, she's clearly not in the best of moods. Please look in her general direction, you know, if you want to talk to her. Very odd atmosphere to this scene. Yeah, you can definitely tell something's different. Okay. Shut up. I believe in you, man. Okay, a play. That could be fun. How creative and original. Is Ichijo and Chitoka? Okay, that's... Well, that'll be interesting. Well, we just end off on that note. Oh, damn, okay. Man, there was a lot to process for this episode. Okay. Well, like I said, last episode was the well, first of all, that was the 18th episode of Nisekoi. So last episode we had our festival episode, not like the school festival, just the regular festival, right? In this episode we had our beach episode, and until partway through I kind of forgot we even had a pool episode, but I mean obviously beach episodes noticeably different than a pool episode, but they're both good in their own ways. Now, I should have figured we would get some like good swimsuits, fan service kind of shots, right? And we definitely did. Like because it's fairly common for this type of shows to have one by one reveals of the girls coming out in their swimsuits, and like kind of like taking their turn sort of thing. And we kind of did that here, but we like rapid fired it to the point where it was kind of like just too stimulating almost, right? And especially with Tsugumi, right? She hers is like she's very stacked, right? And like the top of her swimsuit looks kind of odd. It almost looks like a bunch of red tape wrapped around. Like I know it's not, but it almost has that sort of look to it, right? And she's clearly embarrassed to be wearing that, And that was before everyone started getting all touchy with her, and I think even like tackled her to the ground at a certain point, So that sucks for her. But yeah, everyone looked great, Just especially, I mean, as far as like whose swimsuit suited them the best, I'd probably go with like Onodera. Like hers looked great. It was basically the perfect choice for her. But they all looked great, honestly. So you can't really like point out one in particular being great. They all are. But I think the one that caught my attention the most is probably Onodera's. Well, I mean Tsugumi's as well, but a little bit different. But yeah, they also not just the swimsuits themselves, but we also got us a lot of great angles and shots and stuff like that. But they really like front loaded it, Like as the episode went on, they kind of like stopped, but they made sure to make sure we got our fill of that early on in the episode, and then just kind of decided to move on with the plot of the episode, which was essentially just Chitoge trying to figure out her feelings. I mean, that's been kind of a thing for a while, right? She's the tsundere, like I've said several times, which means she can't be honest with her feelings. It's kind of the core of a tsundere, right? So. But she's getting kind of put into a position where she's sort of being forced to confront it, right? I mean, your body, your reactions, sometimes they're not always in line with the narrative your tsundere-ness is trying to push, if that makes any sense at all, right? So she gets these doki doki sort of things with like hand touching and stuff like that, and you can't really just, hand wave that as being nothing, like it's obviously something. So she's kind of like trying to figure that out through the framework of her tsundere-ness and doing her best on that, and she even gets help from Onodera to try to figure it out, who, brings up that it could be love, right? I mean, they translate as crush here, but, koi, love, whatever you want to call it, right? So, of course, Chitoge was asking for advice in the context of, a friend of mine, and Onodera actually falls for that. But Onodera did, unknowingly give her a big push in that, trying to understand this, but she's still like in the whole denial, that is part of the not being honest thing, right? The tsundere thing. So she spent a good chunk of the episode being like, no way, that can't possibly be the case. That's ridiculous. With him, no way. I mean, sure, I don't hate him as much as I thought I did, or I used to. It was not so bad. She just kind of like going through those hamster wheel kind of thing, trying to work through some things. And that pretty much was the main meat of the episode. I mean, we got a little bit of stuff with Onodera. Like, I think she asked for a kiss or something in that one scene. That was pretty shocking, but, Chitoge sort of heard it, but not really. She thinks he was asking for kimchi or whatever. So, like, yeah, Chitoge is definitely an odd one, right? But still, Onodera and Chitoge did have a very nice moment with the sandcastle. That insane, and Sand City. I don't know what you'd call that exactly, but I feel like calling it a sandcastle, like, undersells it. But we did have a moment as well between Chitoge and Ichijo on the rock over by the ocean, right? And she's still doing her, I hate you, tsundere sort of stuff, right? And then she asks a pretty big question here. If we had dated for real, do you think it would have worked out? Like, when I first read that sentence, I was kind of thinking, what my opinion on that is, and it's a hypothetical like that. It's really hard to say, right? Because, going out for real, that would mean there was like an initial attraction, right? Something they liked about each other that they were aware of and decided to go out because of that, right? So, because of that, inherently, the relationship itself would be very different. There wouldn't be anywhere near as much friction and fighting as just like suddenly two strangers being pushed together. So, but again, it's just so hypothetical that it's hard to really say much about that. But, you know, if you read between the lines at all, this is clearly her trying to, like, what's the best way to phrase it? Test the water, you know? Because she's obviously at this point in the story trying to work through her feelings, understand her feelings. She's starting to maybe open up to the possibility of liking him and going out for real, you know? But obviously, what they've had before now makes the whole thing very complicated and messy, especially when you add in the fact that she's not good at being honest. So this is kind of her way of just maybe starting some dialogue into that realm, and, you know, because the only way she can really do it without actually, you know, revealing any of her own feelings. The problem with this, though, is that she did this almost immediately after, you know, unleashing her usual tsundere, I hate you, you know, sort of stuff, right? So as a result of that, Ichijo is still, you know, in that normal sort of constantly fighting back and forth sort of mentality. So he's kind of continuing that here with his answer. What was his answer again? Yeah, of course there's no way it'd work out. Even at a baka in there. And, you know, I don't think I said anything, but as soon as the camera panned over to her, you know, her shocked eye, I knew where this was going, right? She you know, tried to open up there to Ichijo, you know, try to get some real feelings, some real communication there, but Ichijo didn't pick up on it, understandably, because no human being could be expected to mind read that well, because she's trying to have her cake and eat it too, being her usual self, while trying to also get some honesty from him, while not really giving any herself. I think if I was supposed to boil it down, that's probably how I would do it. She wants some honest feelings, stuff from him, without giving it herself, so she can get what she wants without having to be vulnerable herself, right? You know, and yeah, when he didn't really do that, that's why it became a problem. So yeah, definitely a very awkward situation. And deep down she knows how unreasonable she's being, right? You know, but, like, it doesn't really change anything. That's partly probably the story that he's talking about, the reasoning for that. Because deep down she's gotta know how difficult she's being, you know. But, and, you know, considering anime protagonists, you know, especially rom-com protagonists, are dense by nature, there was no chance he was ever going to handle the situation well with everything going on. Right? And then we had, like, a new ED. I'm pretty sure it's a new ED. I feel like I would have remembered those hip movements. Like, that was really just captivating. Like, very well done. Very givable, right? Like, I could just, it's just mesmerizing. I could just watch that all day. That was, like, the best part of the opening, the ED. It was, like, the very beginning of it, but it was still the best part. And it was a crazy ED, too. We had, like, aliens at some point, giant Onodeta, what I assume are dolls, you know, dancing around and stuff. I don't know. Even had them be idols for a second there. Like, it was something. And then we had the stinger where Chitoge shows up and she seems very much more cold and distant. I mean, they fight a lot, but it's definitely different than this. It's like yelling and stuff, but this is just like indifference, not caring, like giving up. Like, it has a very different feel to it. And apparently we have a play that we're doing, Romeo and Juliet, with those two as the main, and she clearly does not want to do it, so I guess we'll talk about that more in the next episode. But yeah, this is something we're definitely gonna have to get past. Chitoge has definitely entered like a new phase, right? Where the simple, you know, baka, I hate you too, dynamic between them is definitely kind of, it looks like we've passed that into something else, and it's just a matter of how we kind of navigate this going forward. We'll decide how things go. But, I mean, I'm not good at talking about relationship feeling stuff, but I try to do my best in this. But, so that's all I really got to say in the episode, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.